It is time for another episode of Midlife Lately. Good morning, Jon Finkel.
Good
Good to see
morning. Good morning. Very excited today.
my esteemed co-host here. Hey, this week we got a lot to talk about. We are going to dive in, get the pun, dive into your swim meet, okay? This weekend, all you men over 45, what is your excuse? Jon is still out there swimming and competing. I, on the other hand, finally pulled the trigger on a Porsche. It is not the midlife crisis kind, but the kind that will keep someone in your family smiling. We'll touch on that in a second. What's going on with the left side of my body? Your monologue on John Grisham, success, failure, perseverance. My viewpoint to beard or not to beard. I feel like I'm somewhat in the middle of that at the moment.
I'm zeroed.
And
I'm zeroed in on my style, so perfect example.
and Scott McGregor of the Outlier Project in
Yeah,
our
cool
How I
dude.
See It feature this weekend. So, a lot to talk about in a limited period of time.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Midlife lately, the real conversations, relatable stories, and a reminder that the middle is where the good stuff happens.
Yes, sir. It's true. Absolutely true. Or the left side of your face, depending on where what we want the good stuff is happening at this point.
Exactly. So I'm bundled up today too. It's cold in Houston. Like
Yeah, it's still like
finally,
84 here in Florida. You look like
I,
your weather's changed.
I'm so happy, but I just walked in. I was doing, Monday morning and I had to get the oil changed in the car and stuff to do this. I had a 7 a.m. meeting with a client, my one that I usually walk with.
Oh yeah.
We usually do the 3 mile walk and talk on Friday, but we moved it to Monday. Uh, and a coffee meetup instead. So I got all bundled up, took care of this, and raced back to be here with you and your fake bookshelf.
Yeah. It's not fake. It's actually 10 feet that way. It's just no angle works. It's literally right there. But if I do it, I have to sit like in the middle of the room with my laptop on my lap. So we're using CGI to move a wall 10 feet this way.
Okay. Yeah. What you really wanted to say is I've read all these books. They're all my books. This
Mine
is
are up
not me
here. These
sitting
are all
in
mine are
front
up
of
here.
all of my own books. Okay.
Yeah. Mine
Pretending.
are here, but my face isn't on any of them. You win on that. And then the Louise I've read and shared in my other, book recommendation stuff.
And I think that just kind of sums up some of our differences right there.
Yes, probably. I think that is actually a good microcosm for some of how we do things, but it works. We complement each other well,
Hey,
right?
so let's talk about the win of the weekend. Okay. You
Yes.
attacked the water like an
Yeah.
older Michael Phelps.
Yeah, I even got convinced to use an actual swim cap, which I have not used almost ever. I think towards my old swimming days when I was in high school, and I have had a few close calls in the last few Masters races. So anyone who's watching isn't familiar, I'm a competitive Masters swimmer, top 10. So when you swim over 40 or really over 30, they have a thing called top 10 in the United States. So they rank everybody who swims in your age group across the country. And at the end of the year, if you get a top 10 time, you get to say you're one of the top 10 fastest swimmers in the United States. And I made it last year in the 100 yard, on the 100-meter butterfly short course, and I was trying to do it again. This is the big invitational that I trained for to try to do it again. There's meets throughout the year, but this is the big one at the Swimming Hall of Fame. It's like, dude, it's the craziest place. It's probably a place where like if the Ritz-Carlton owned it, it'd be like a $500 million property. They literally the whole entire pool. It's a 250-meter pools and then a giant Olympic diving well is surrounded by 5, 10, and $50 million yachts. The entire thing. You look out and it's just zillionaires in yachts, and then there's this pool which has like an international thing. So
So can
um,
we address one thing? This is close by your house, right?
it's about an hour away, actually.
Okay, which makes it very conducive to being a swimmer. So it's not like you moved down there to be close to swim off to
No,
this facility. You
and
were
it used to be
there, okay?
yeah. I used to be. I got lucky with that. It's a big meet that they renovated it about 5 years ago. So I used to when I first lived in Florida the first time, I used to go swim there at lunch all the time, and it was a dump. It was like known as like a dump. It was built in the 70s. It just didn't keep it up, and they finally put money into it. And now it's like a world-class training facility, locker rooms. It has the actual swimming hall of fame there. So like you mentioned, Michael Phelps gets inducted in the swimming hall of fame. It's there. Like it's a really cool place. So it's about an hour south of me, right on the water of Fort Lauderdale. It's like the Omni, the Ritz-Carlton, the Swimming Hall of Fame, literally like right there, 50 yards from the ocean on the other side, on the intercoastal. Very cool place. Um, so they have the big meets here. So yeah, I went down. I did the 100 fly, 50 fly, and 50 free. And I surprised myself with a W in the 50 fly, 50-meter fly, which is 100 fly is the one I think I can actually probably crack the top five. 50 fly, we've talked a million times about our limitations. You got to really be in the 6'2", 6'3", big wingspan range. You eat up so much more water than me. So the 100 allows me a little bit more time to make up for that. But I didn't get a personal best in the 50-meter fly, but I've talked about it like I blew my turn, which in swimming, you spend months and months and months and months swimming, training, and practicing. And my feet were about 8 inches low on my turn, which means I pushed off like this way instead of this way, which means my kicks moved me this way, which means I turned a little bit more this way, which cost me the zero point 0.2 seconds I lost by. So thus is swimming. So it went well
Not
overall.
like
One
you've
gold,
given
two
this a
silver.
lot of thought and a lot of analysis or anything. It's
Dude,
good.
I thought about it. It's been eating me up all night. I couldn't believe I
So
missed
do
my turn.
they have cameras under the water?
They don't have cameras under the water. There's no like broadcast. For the international meets they do. You can actually see where they track them out. But
I was
this,
saying, so like how you kind of know on your turn and all this. So like, does your
yeah,
coach look at like, or like how you can really
it's
tell? I mean, I know you can feel
feel.
a
Yeah,
certain thing, but if you were able to see it, like you could really see like
yeah.
what you're doing.
At this point, like the 50,000 hour rule of doing something. Like I knew going into my turn that I was going to be a little short in my head. This is all happening in like tenths and tenths of a second. So I reached in and tried to bring my feet up quicker than I normally would to make up for the fact that I was a little off. And this is so swimming nerdery, but my instead of getting my feet like the wall's here, like right there, it was here. And when you spring off, you're at an angle, 10 degrees off. And I went closer to the surface as I want. So I had to angle out my kick. And you have what's called a pull out in swimming, like your breakout to get into your stroke. Anyone who's watched the Olympics, that first stroke is super important. And I was shallow and it just screwed up. And again, point two. I mean, it was point two. That's it. Point three, I would have won. Point two, I got thing, but in second. But anyway, one gold, two silvers for the over 45 old dudes. I'll take it. My next meet there is in February, but I won't find out about the top tens till then, till January. But it's awesome, dude. I just, it's such a goofy thing to go back and do from something you were in high school and college and cared about. And I picked this back up like 3 years ago, and I like saying I'm the top 10 in the country at something. It feels cool.
Absolutely. I also love the fact that we get great documentation, photos, and video.
My daughter,
Yes.
Jewel. My daughter, so obviously as a swimmer, whatever you're into watching, you want your kids to be into it, and it just never took. My daughter swam for maybe 4 years on a team, and it didn't take, but she likes it, and she likes spending time with me and all that. And my wife can't stand a swim meet. Who can? My son refuses to go because you're just sitting on a pool doing nothing. But my daughter, for these last 3 years, she comes to most of them with me. We get our chairs, we hang out, we get snacks. Like she's great. She loves taking the pictures. She's really good at the video now. She has a couple people she's met who she talks to, like other daughters of some other swimmers that go. We make a whole day of it down in Fort Lauderdale. We go to this really cool like taco place that she likes. We got this thing called the Dubai chocolate. I don't know if it's all over the place now for the teen world, but a Dubai chocolate strawberry thing they had at this trendy place. So we make a full day out of it. We love it, and it actually is my favorite part. It's like, especially as you get teenagers and teenage girls, especially like spending a full day of uninterrupted time with them is just the greatest. Because otherwise, they're scattered on the boys and the drama and the school and all the other stuff.
Yep. I miss that. I get the Sunday when I'm driving around. It was gorgeous here this weekend also. And
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I call both boys. And I know that if I call them before noon, I'm
there's
getting
no
it, I'm
chance.
getting voicemails. So
Yeah,
it's the chance to just leave the message. Hey guys, hope you're having a
it's
great
dad.
weekend.
Yeah,
Love you, miss you. Like call your lonely dad
yeah.
when you wake up and you get a chance. So yes. And they did. They both called, which was good. What else do we have going on here as I realize that the hat indoors is making my forehead now very
I
itchy.
would guess you're sweating. Yeah, yeah. It is
No,
cool.
I'm
It's
not
funny that
sweating. I
people.
feel actually really good. It's
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, your bones get, we're not used to this anymore. Kate always laughs at me. She's like, you grew up in New York, you went to college in Michigan, you come here, like, this is cold for you? Like, now?
I've
Yeah.
maintained it. We go skiing like once a year or 1 week in the cold, and I thrive on it. Like it feels like it's like reinvigorate. I don't want more than that 1 week, but I love breathing it into my nose. That like 30-degree weather, it feels good.
Well, I get all that now. Well, now it's like my nose is like all stuffed and like the air is colder and I'm like, get chill. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on?
You're bound for South Florida. We all know this.
What
Just
is
it's
going on?
inevitable.
Yes, I'm ready to go there, but it's all on the left side. I was gonna.
You woke up like swollen and sore or
Like
something?
my eye was like all puffy this morning. I got something going on from like my neck down my
The
arm.
lymphatic system isn't draining or something.
Yeah, it's not going so well. And I don't think I ate anything different or I'm doing anything different, but like down the whole side, I think there's like a nerve thing.
Does
I
it
got,
hurt?
and yeah,
Like when you work out and do stuff?
like I've been dealing with the shoulder thing, but now I'm thinking maybe it's a back thing. I was told like a nerve. I don't know. So I'm up, of course, chat GPTing the shit out of this.
The best thing you can do is not scare yourself and go on
Right, like
ChatGPT.
every symptom, I'm like, so, my eye is puffy and it's kind of drooping over,
Yeah.
and I've got this pain down the left side, like from my neck and into my shoulder. I'm not sure where it's coming from. And of course, this is like, well, you should go straight to the emergency room,
Yeah.
like get this rule out. I'm like, I don't have a heart issue. I don't have anything. But there's something going on. Like, I don't know if it's arthritis related or a nerve issue. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sleeping on the other side. I have too much going on in the next couple of weeks to even really like
Yeah, you're
stop
traveling everywhere. Yeah.
and do anything about it. So it's probably good that I can't be overlifting or overdoing it.
Yeah, it's like a
A lot
taper
of
routine.
hiking going on, but that's just like my lower body. Like I'm like, okay, and deal with
Yeah,
it.
you can
But
handle that.
somehow I'm gonna have to get whether that's an MRI somewhere of like the neck or the back or the shoulder. I gotta figure out what's going on, or they like a nerve conduction test. I got like a little list from ChatGPT
Yeah, that
of what I
lymphatic thing
need
you
to
do too.
discuss
Yeah.
with my doctor about what's going on. And maybe it's all my hopping, doing the lymphatic hops and all the other stuff that's now forcing all of this stuff.
Oh yeah, you do that that new warm up of yours, the jig, the little Irish jig that helps you out.
Yeah, exactly. And I got Kate doing it too. Like we're both hopping around like before our class the other day and in the garage on Sunday, like hopping and twisting, like, moving the arms around.
I always found a couple like 5 minutes of jump rope seems to do it for me.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like the first few minutes of this are kind of like a jump rope.
I've seen you do it.
Just-
It's very amusing.
Yeah, it's funny to watch. Okay, like
Yeah, it's like you're kind of like a dead bug dance. Kind of your arms are
we
loose, your
look
legs are loose. Yeah,
we look very silly on the
yeah.
whole thing. But speaking of silly, where is the thing? I want to show this. Now I'm calling it audible right now. What would you call this?
Is that a remote?
Yeah,
Like
what
for
would any normal person
the TV
call?
remote or a fan remote? Yeah,
Okay, it's a remote control, right? This is the
yeah,
Apple
for sure.
TV remote,
Oh yeah, okay. There you go.
like any remote control.
They look all the same. Yeah, 2 inches by 4 inches, a bunch of
Yes.
buttons, black.
Do you know what Kate calls this?
I have no idea.
No, exactly. Neither. Okay. We're watching some show last night and back and forth, and we get up. We have to go somewhere, and she's like, "You gotta find the pauser."
The
She calls this the
pauser?
pauser.
How
Meaning
much pausing is she doing that its primary function is pausing?
that's the pauser. So this is the pause. I'm
Yeah, that's
pausing the
interesting.
show, and this is the pauser now.
It's if that's the thing you're referring to the most, you're starting and stopping or pausing a lot. I would like way more. I don't ever pause anything.
I just am putting it out there. The worst charades partner of all time would be her, because
Yeah.
nothing is what it is.
Think what it seems.
Right. She would be describing this as the
Is this
like
just a
when the word
talker?
you're looking for is remote
Is
control.
this just a talker? Is the phone just a talker?
Right.
Have you seen my talker anywhere?
Sponsor and this talker. Exactly right. So that set me off in like a complete like round of hysterics last night because she's sending me out to find the pauser to push the pauser and we can't find it. And
That's
by the way, I'm
amazing.
already like
Wouldn't
high.
it be the player? Isn't that the first thing you do? Pause
It should
is
be
the
both
second
either way,
act.
but I had already taken like my nightly like sleep well gummy. So it
Yeah,
just sent me completely over the edge.
that's
That
hilarious.
was what it's now called in our house.
That's funny,
And
man.
then I'm
Yeah,
supposed to know exactly what she's talking about when she tells me to go find the
now
pauser.
you know. Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm very clear.
This is so funny. There's so many different things you could just call other things of what they do, right? Is the refrigerator just the keep colder? Where's the open the keep colder?
And now I feel like I want to bring her up and be like, "Hey, like, can you get in on this? Because we're
Hey,
redefining
I need you to put gas in my driver. It just drives around town.
the people mover. Isn't that what they
Yeah,
call it?
yeah,
Something they actually did call it a people mover, like
yeah,
the car that moves you through the airport, the tram
yeah,
or whatever it
yeah.
is. Yes.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
We digress. You know what else I did this weekend?
This is so far action packed. What did you do?
I bought a Porsche.
Like a Carrera, a 911, like a old school Boxster? What are we talking here?
No,
What was it? What's the movie with the like a Gone in 60 Seconds? Like you have your own like Eleanor?
all of those sound awesome,
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. What do we
and
got here?
maybe,
Yeah.
but no.
Okay.
I bought Kate a Porsche Macan.
Oh, you bought it's not even for you.
Not even for
No, I
me.
can't get excited about a car not for you. Good. All right.
Track with me on this,
Yeah.
okay? So it's the small Porsche SUV.
Yeah, I've seen them around town.
It's a little chick car,
Smaller than the Cayenne, right?
smaller than the Cayenne.
Yeah.
But Kate has wanted this car for several years now. Doesn't
Okay.
want the Cayenne was too big, kind of small, and she wanted this car for a couple of years now. And where we have ended up is that she's been driving Harper's car for like the
Mhm.
last five, I don't know, 4 months. I'm exact.
What does he have?
He has a Jeep Grand Cherokee, but since he went
Perfect.
to college,
Perfect
okay,
car.
great
Yeah.
car, yes. But since he went to college, he couldn't take the car.
Right.
Kate had an Audi, great Audi Q5, QS5, loaded, loved the car, fantastic car, very low. Auden needed a car this year.
Okay.
So because he's in Colorado, you have to have a four-wheel drive car.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That yes,
Oh,
or
so the Jeep's not four-wheel drive, but you bought it like
so
in
we were going to send in the Jeep, but the Jeep is a two-wheel
I
drive
was
car.
gonna say, yeah, that happens. Yeah.
Okay, because we got a cheaper two-wheel drive car down
No,
here.
but why if I'm in
Right.
Florida, why am I gonna
Already
get
did, right.
four-wheel drive Jeep?
So couldn't give him the Jeep.
Yeah.
Even my car is a two-wheel drive car.
Hmm.
Couldn't give him my-
Yeah,
So
mine
Keith
too.
said, "We'll give Auden my car for now, and I'll just drive Harper's for the few months, like for a few
So wait,
months."
the Audi was four-wheel drive?
Yes, turns out the Audi was four-wheel
So
drive.
your son's tooling around Boulder in an Audi.
Yes, so our son is tooling around in a fully loaded 2022 Audi
Living it up. All
QS5,
right.
okay, with like the ski rack on top now, like everything. Like
Boxing, driving around an Audi. He's just a little young Floyd Mayweather.
living the dream, yes, and greatly appreciative, mind you. We drove
I
that
would
back.
hope the ladies should be all over this guy. He's like a player up there now.
You would think, right? He's gonna have to tune in for this and answer some questions. So you would
All
think
I'm saying is you leave a boxing gym, you're sweaty, you're jacked, you're hopping into your fully loaded Audi to drive around like one of the coolest towns ever. This should be an automatic, hey,
this would
yeah, I
be
had to
like
turn down
shooting
this
fish in
state
a
because of all
barrel.
this.
Yes, it should be. Okay.
Yeah,
Auden, you need to be listening to this because John thinks you should be crushing it right now. We
just
all
saying.
think you should be
One man's
crushing.
opinion. Yeah.
Love you. You are crushing it in your own respective way. Okay. Get out there. But yes, so that's what he's doing out there. So we went in and said, okay, since the boys, this is how my monkey mind works. The boys are coming home for Thanksgiving, then they're also going to be home for a couple of weeks over Christmas after we get back from vacation. And I'm like, well, now we need another car here, ideally.
Yep.
Kind of, right? They're going to be running around. Like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, you can punt it, you can Uber for a bit and punt it, depending, you
right.
know.
Okay. But I'm like, well, if we're going to get Kate this car, I should probably like, let's go do this before they're all home for like a month and everything else. And we're
Yeah.
going to have to return Harper's car at the end of January anyway. So we might as well do this and figure out what to do with that. So now is the time. So we Google, I'm looking up cars again. I go back to my good friend of Chat GPT and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's a good deal? Like what's a fair deal? What's a good deal? What's a
Oh,
great
it's such
deal?
a
What year? The
miserable
whole,
experience.
the whole thing. And I find them. We go to the dealership and Kate's with me. And it's always the debate of whether or not she's negotiating with me or against me.
We go separately. It's kind of funny, actually, but good. I like this.
Because she knows what she wants. And I'm kind of like, hey, like, don't like she will make it very easy on
So
them.
you guys go together, like have the whole thing, the whole couples pick out a car
I
thing.
thought we had it all kind of together. We don't
I
never
can't do
really
it. We
have it
stopped
all.
so long ago. I just pick out what I want. Steph gets what she wants. Everybody's happy.
Okay. We didn't go that route. That's so we went there together. We test drive a couple of them. We narrow it down to one, in there. It's not it's not Kate's first choice, of course, which is like newer in this. And I'm like,
You
no,
mean
no,
like
no.
color or just like the model?
First, we had to get color down. We had to get color and interior color and all those things down. Then we had to get into like model year, mileage, like
Oh,
all
this
the
I'm
things.
getting. I hate all of this, but
All
good.
of it.
Good. I'm glad you dealt with it.
I hate it because also I'm convinced you're never going to win.
You're getting ripped off the second your foot steps in the door, and every single thing that they offer you is more expensive than you want, and it does.
So
You don't need
my
any of it.
goal is not to win. My goal is not to lose so badly that I feel horrible about myself.
Yeah, this is something I learned from my wife. She's amazing at this stuff. She prints up all the Kelly Blue Book values and all the competing. She's nuts. She's an unbelievable car
So
person.
I had it all.
Yeah,
Okay, ready. We get there. Okay. Then we get into a little thing and we're both kicking each other under the table. I'm just like, no, like you can't narrow them. You can't tell them like the more specific you make it for them, also,
yeah,
like the more they got you. Like, is
yeah.
they
We only have one of those, and there's been an offer on it. Blah blah blah. Every time.
so I got somewhat proud of myself. They slide the number, he gives me the number, okay, on the car we finally decided on. And I say, thank you. I feel like I'm in like Moneyball when he hands him the
Yeah,
offer to be the GM and he opens it and I write my number down and I hand on the piece of paper next to
yeah.
him, I hand it back to him and he looks at it and he says, I'll see what I can do. There's always somebody else they can go
Back
talk
room.
to,
Let me
right?
go
To
talk to
see
my manager.
where they can go. He goes to the room and he comes back and they're a little closer. Not there yet. A little, this is the best I
This
can
is
do.
when you walk out.
Right. This is the best I can do. He's
Great.
like,
I'll
I
call me when
said,
you can do
I
what
said
I
that
said
right.
I'm gonna do.
I said that's great. Okay, we're gonna go have lunch. We're gonna go then take a look around at some other options, and I'll get back to you in 24 to 48 hours on this.
Yes, good.
Just hold on, of course, hold on. Really, like really, he goes back to the office again, comes back one more time. He's closer. He's even close. I said, thank you. Now I'm late for lunch. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the whole experience is so bad.
Right. And he says to me, he goes, that's it. I said, look, you can either do the number or you can't do the number.
Yeah,
It's a good
basically.
number. I said, no harm, no foul. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Okay. So we're gonna go. Thank you. And you tell me if you can do the number, or not. We leave. Literally, get up, we leave. Now Kate's disappointed, of course. Now she's like, you negotiated yourself right out of a deal, of
Oh
course.
no, this is you got to walk away at least once. You got
At
to
least
go off
once,
the
right?
dealership.
At
It's
least
like
once.
not never take if you go once and take it, you're getting screwed. You got to leave.
So we're out. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we leave the premises. And now I'm getting the earful and the walk, kind of the walk to the car. Like you negotiated us out of a perfectly
No,
good deal.
no.
And how do we know
They'll
that's
they'll
going to be
call
there?
you back. They need to
If
move these
we
cars.
if we come back and I said exactly what you said, I go, you have to leave. This is the game.
You got to go.
This is the
They
game.
will call you back with an
So
offer.
get into my car. Okay. Before Kate's even in the car, the phone rings.
Of course.
Right.
His boss said, "Don't let this guy off the lot. You're close."
Right. Come back. We'll do it.
Of course. Every time. You got to walk out. Good job. Congratulations. Well done. That's
Got the
how you do it.
number,
Yep.
got the car. Okay.
Done.
Went through the agita of also, I mean, I did the new was out of the question. Pre-owned was the way to go. Certified
Sure.
pre-owned, extended warranty, all those things. What year?
Tires and whatever because the
When did they
tires
upgrade the
cost you a million
tires? When did they
dollars.
upgrade the dashboard? When is the next model change going to be that's official on this? All those things
Mhm.
locked out. Am I gonna don't want to finance this thing? Would prefer to pay cash for this thing. Financing rates are bad. Did the whole thing.
Yeah, dude, you gotta go in. I tried my last car. I got a new Traverse, and I had had my Acadia for 10 years. I don't care about cars. I just want something that works and goes forever. And I throw, we go to the beach, it gets filled with sand. Like I don't care. And my plan was to go in and do nothing. I want to do it all online. And I got it. I did everything without going to the dealership. I had all these things. I would text them, hey, here's this offer, here's that offer. I did it all like over lunch, hanging out. And I finally got it set up where I walked in and signed papers and left with what I wanted. And I was like, this is how you do it now. I told them not coming
I
in.
think that's very smart, and I would do that myself. I don't particularly care all that much either.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a Jeep Wagoneer. It's like driving a living room. I love the thing.
Yeah.
I really like older cars. I like classic cars. I'd love to have like an old 911.
Yeah.
I'd
We've talked about
have
it.
like
Yeah.
an old Land Rover, or one of those types of things, or a old Land Cruiser.
94
My issue though
Bronco.
is I need dependability though. I like the idea of like something goes wrong, I just bring it back to the dealer, it's handled. I
I
want to
know.
start the
Yeah, that's the
thing.
trade-off.
So that's kept me away from like the old cool looking thing. Like if I could have an extra car, I would I would do something cool like that. But overall, I don't really care that much either. But what I really like doing is I like actually doing this for her.
That's nice.
Like I like that like she wants it, like she deserves it. I think I like doing these things. I think there's something manly about like doing things for other people,
Of
not yourself,
course.
for being like, okay, I'll sacrifice like me. And listen, I don't sacrifice a whole lot. Like I like things and everything.
Are you
Listen,
driving around a Toyota Camry and she's driving
yeah,
a
kid
Porsche? Is that
ourselves.
what's
But
happening?
like I like this idea. It does makes me feel good about being able to do things that my family wants and
Well, yeah,
likes and appreciates overall.
I think it's great.
More
It
so
is.
than if I bought it for myself, I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I have the same thing with stuff. I'm very low. I'm as low maintenance. Like I just don't have things that I want. So when the kids want something or Steph wants something, and I whatever, go for it. I don't care. Steph has, she has her own thought. Like she loves nice stuff. She loves nice cars. She always has those kind of things. Her dad like really got her into that stuff, which is different than a lot of women that I used to know. So if that makes you happy, like go for it. It all works out. It all balances. If you can figure out a way where like everybody wins, that's the move.
I agree. So that got done. None of like this was totally on the radar for like exactly this weekend or anything. So these are also, I think, some of the things that creep up on you when you have time. You're like this, like
Yeah.
we have so much. I feel like
Yeah.
we have so much time now on the weekends.
I know. Well, we were joking in your when you were talking about your morning routine, and how like your daily morning routine, this beautiful, blissful bath and walk and cup of coffee undisturbed, and quality time with your wife in bed and all these things. And as I wrote, I had a couple of people write in too to me. I meant to share them with you, where people are like, "Good for you, empty nester, Greg. We're still in
Yeah.
the thick of all these kids running around, getting them out of the house, Harry mess in the house, getting him going, getting him off to school so that you can finally then work out. So I say enjoy this time that you're in,
Yes.
man.
I
You
completely
earned
agree.
it.
Look, first of all, I completely agree. What my morning routine in life looks like now at 52, 53 next
Yeah.
month uh, is completely different than what it looked like, obviously, when
Yeah. No,
kids
you earned
were
it. I look forward
younger.
to a
Yeah.
relaxing morning, but I don't want to rush it because I know at some point I'll be like, where is everybody? Like the house is
So I
closed.
loved your note. Like you're like you like text me or whatever it was. It's like, hey, like, is it cool if I put in a note about how like everybody's morning routine is like this? He's spoiled,
I just thought, and I
like
was
the
right.
empty nesting jackass. Like, hey, for the other people reading, do you think I could maybe drop in something that's somewhat relatable to the other
That was my
20,000 guys out there?
well, it was funny because I read it and I'm like, we do a lot of content between the two of us, and we have different lives and we have a lot of common interests but different lives because you're older, your kids are gone, different things going on. And I remember thinking, I was like, this might be if the farthest, most least relatable morning thing Greg has ever written that I've read since we've been working together. I can't even fathom this morning, even on a Saturday or Sunday at all. Like I can't sit outside. Even on a Sunday when I think everybody's sleeping, I sit outside to have a cup of coffee. And one of the kids comes out, the other comes out. Something's happening. Something's not working. We have a game to get to. We have practice to get to. They had a sleepover. They have a party. So again, I'm not rushing a minute of it away because I know once it's gone forever. But it was just a nice juxtaposition because I had a bunch of guys write me like, "Thanks, dude. We're not all just chilling in a bath on a Tuesday morning like Greg."
I think so. This is part of our like fuck you, thank you series. Okay.
Yeah.
Like there'll be some guys out there that are like, fuck you. There'll be some other guys like, thank you, John, for putting the other side, the side of this in. But point being, don't rush it. You're absolutely right.
No, you can't.
I didn't rush it. It goes way too fast, also. And when you get there, it's a double-edged sword. Like you can have it like but you're also bored sometimes. Or again, you end up in
Sure.
weekends where you're just like, what
Let's
is
go buy a Porsche. Why not? We have
like
nothing else to do.
what should we be
You want to go get coffee? How about we just get a Porsche instead? Perfect.
It
Great.
sounds like a crazy, crazy weekend. It's like, okay, wait, what did you do this weekend? Well, I worked out a couple of times, bought my wife a car, got a pedicure, left two voicemails for my kids.
It
Like,
is
oh,
funny. So yeah, I was when you do like sometimes you'll do like the weekend, and I'm always like went fishing, caught a bunch of bass with my son. Swim meet, like coach flag. Like we're just in such different spots that
I
it's kind of
wish, and
funny to
all I
see.
do when I read that is go back to like, oh man, I will go back and I'll look at flag football pictures.
Yeah, I
Like
get
I
it.
will go back and like look at all that stuff and be like, oh man, like you want it all. Like again, I think
I
every
know.
stage or chapter is amazing in its own right. And now
Right.
from like where I sit on some of this stuff, like yeah, like it can be somewhat relaxing and it can be enjoyable and it's nice to have that kind of freedom. Like all I'm looking forward to this week is like I get to land in Boulder and like go hang out with my son. Like you want all that stuff back
Yeah,
again.
I look at it as, my kids are in seventh and eighth grade, so I have roughly 6 years of them home, 5, 6 years of them home. And the times where I can just say, hopefully, it's hundreds of times now, but, oh, we're gonna have dinner in an hour, let's go fishing for a bit. And we can just take off to this new fishing hole that we found and just pull some bass out and shoot the shit. And like, I know those times are limited. And so I do them as
I
much as I can.
I had two guys that didn't come over this Sunday, for the workout because one of them was doing that. He was hunting and fishing with his son on, father-son, school trip because his
Yeah.
kids are still in high school. Another one who's, got softball or whatever season they're in this weekend with his daughter
Yeah.
who's younger too. And like I get those text messages back and I'm like, ah,
Yeah, you want to have stuff to
like
do. I know.
oh man, like I walk the dogs by the baseball fields and I sit there sometimes and I'm just like watching. And it's like, wow, like that went by fast.
It's even funny. So, like I mentioned my kid's age, like there's a neighborhood's kind of turning over a little bit. Some of the older people are moving out and some people are moving with like little kids. So now I'm walking the dog and seeing the people, the moms or the moms and dads with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old in a stroller. And now I feel how you feel when I talk. I'm like, oh man, that was the greatest. Like every morning you get up. I know that diapers suck, and I'm not going to pretend that any of that's fun. Diapers, bottles, I hated all of it. But when you finally got them in the stroller, and I have my other dog who was with us before he passed, like, and you're just outside and the kids are playing and you finish and you go back. I was like, that's just it's all ahead of you. It's all in
It
front of
is. I
you.
feel that like there's a place I go called Milk and Cookies near us. And
Uh,
with that, it's like a window. I got outside of this restaurant that's right near the elementary school and the baseball fields, and you go there.
yeah.
I like to get my coffee and sometimes like a cookie or whatever I
Yeah,
want.
whatever you want.
Great gelato and pastries and stuff. But you pull up and there's always like a line. And it's
Yeah.
really like all the young families in the neighborhood that walk over there, whether it's strollers, dogs,
Awesome.
younger kids, or they're all in their uniforms and stuff. And I pull up and I really do feel like the outlier, good transition. Like, okay, I'm older. Like this is all past. And wow, like look at how nice this is that they all come here and the kids hang out and the parents hang out and the uniforms are on and they get their ice cream or their cookie and
Yeah.
the dogs are there. And I'm like, okay, this is like it's like a Rockwell scene, you know?
Well, you have like this, I don't know, whatever, pick, your kids are just in school, but like, let's say 10 years until the grandparent thing starts. And that's a whole, next phase. But like in that middle spot, it's just, we always, I remember who you said
That's
calls this.
not for this week and that's not for now. It's like mind blowing. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just like
Mind
you were.
blowing.
I can't remember the guy who you follow a lot of these guys who talked about this time being the squeeze, where like, especially for me, where like your kids are still home, but your parents, thank God, are still around, but like you're kind of in the middle of what they need and what your kids need, but you're kind of in that spot where the kids aren't there. Now you can actually, for a little bit, it's just whatever you want day to day, and then
Yeah.
eventually it's like we got to see the grandkids. Hopefully they live near you. You can do all the fun things. But that is like it's almost like a lightning of like until you get the grandside kids again, where it's like the squeeze is
It is.
gone.
It's squeeze and it's like contraction. It
And
opens up
yeah,
and closes up.
yeah,
It's like, okay, right now we're in a bit of an opening. We're like, okay, everyone's right where they need to be. It's stuff's
yeah.
going on, and it'll squeeze in a new way. In
But then you'll be like 60, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is terrible. I'm 60 now.
we're gonna leave all this out right now. Like that, put that on a shelf, real, fake, or otherwise. Move shelf. Okay,
It's
we're gonna
tough,
set
man. I
we're
know.
gonna set 60s and grandparenting and children. We're gonna set that on the shelf right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk about John Grisham and your Manologue this week, which crushed.
Yeah. So I write, as a lot of people
I
know,
read,
watching.
yes,
You can
yes,
see
you.
I've written many books. I have a thriller coming out next year. So I've always been fascinated with authors, and especially, you know, it's hard. Writing a book and getting it traditionally published is a very difficult thing to do, and to make money on it is even harder. And so when I was starting out, luckily I'm now, 10 or 11 or whatever books in, but like you just look for these stories of like, how did so and so become the number one in whatever, or how did they even make a living as an author? And I always enjoyed when it wasn't just some, oh man, they wrote this brilliant novel in college, like, which doesn't happen too often, but occasionally like you hear like, oh, he was 21 and he wrote less than zero, and Bret Easton Ellis became like the biggest name in publishing for 3 years, and they had movies with Robert Downey Jr. and James Spader, and like it was incredible. It's like, okay, but that didn't happen for me, and it isn't going to happen for most authors. A while ago, I found John Grisham's origin story, which is incredible, especially because he didn't do a full midlife turn, but like it wasn't until he was 35 that he became the author that we know. And the story in 30 seconds is like he saw a court trial. He was a lawyer in like southern Mississippi, and it moved him so much that after a couple of years, he decided to write a book about it. And he wasn't an author. He just, liked reading. And he decided to get up at 5 a.m. He had kids, he had his own, firm, and or a firm he worked at. And he decided every morning at 5, from 5 to 6, and his thing was he wouldn't give himself coffee till 6. He had to write till 6, and then he would reward himself with coffee. And then the kids would get up and go to bed. Then he would go do his work through the day. And it took him 3 years to finish this manuscript. And he said, got excited. He sent it to a publisher, rejection, publisher two, rejection, publisher three. 2 full years and 27 rejections later, he finds a publisher. Now he's like 33 years old, 34 years old, and they print 5,000 copies, and he says we could not give them out. Like he kept, like you've joked like about how many books you keep when you have, like he had thousands in his, like they didn't know what to do with them. He would drive to libraries, he'd drive to local bookstores, and literally like, hi, I'm John Grisham. I have a new book. I would wonder if you'd want to hand it out to your, sell it in your store or put it in your library. And it's like, no, we don't know who you are. We don't care. So he wants to quit, and he talks to his wife, and she's like, just write, like, you just tried one, like, just write one more. If you oh for 2 is maybe it's not your thing. So he has this idea for this wealthy, about a young lawyer who joins this wealthy firm in the South, and it becomes the firm. And he submits the firm, everybody loves it. The manuscript finds up its way to Hollywood, and somehow, which never in a billion years happens, I can assure you, Paramount buys the manuscript before it even has a book deal. So then the book deal becomes this massive book deal because Tom Cruise is now attached to the movie. The book sells 2 million copies, becomes the number one thriller in the country. And even cooler, obviously, now that he has established himself as a good writer, that original publisher who couldn't give away a couple hundred copies of the original 5,000 print run prints another 5,000 and finds out they're only about 1.5 million short on demand. And he sells another 1.5 million of the first book that he couldn't give away. And the rest is history. That first book was A Time to Kill.
Mm.
So,
Which would also become a great
which
movie.
would also become a great movie. And then there's the Runaway Jury and all the Rainmaker and all these. And I wrote it because we get a lot of people writing us about like their second career, their second act after they leave the corporate world, what they want to do. And it's important to understand that like even for someone like Grisham, imagine 3 full years. Like what would you do if whatever you're thinking of transitioning to? Are you willing to get up at 5 a.m. before your life starts, before your kids start, to do it on your own time, and then spend another 2 years proof of concepting? So if I told you right now, if you're 47 or 52 or 53 and you're like, I want to do something else, I want to set it up, I can't leave my job yet. You've written some great columns about like, don't just leave. What if like you'll have success, but it's 5 years of 5 a.m.s and uncertainty. Now what? And I think if you answer a question with that, with hell yeah, I'm still going to do it, then you've got the thing. I think if you don't, you really should think twice about whether that's the other thing you want to try to do.
Well, I think a big part of this is that are you prepared, like you said, to take the actions every day, whether you make it or not?
Yep. Yep.
There's a lot of talk about this that you have to enjoy the journey, if you will, or the process. And I think there's a lot of truth to that because
Yeah.
if you're fixated on the outcome, that's a problem.
Well, being an
No
author
way.
too,
But
it's
if you,
like,
but I'm
yeah,
saying to your point though,
yeah,
but if you like the process, if you're willing to go through the process, like you're doing even with swimming or whether it's with book writing. It's,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to go to practice in the morning and get in the water. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to sit in front of the computer and I'm going to write. Like
Yep.
that's part of who I am, the
Yeah.
standard that you have for yourself. If you can keep doing that and enjoy that level of
Yeah.
discomfort, like our good buddy Sterling
Early. Yeah. Well, yeah.
in there, but if you can do that, you at least have a greater chance of success.
Yeah. It's funny. His Sterling, our friend Sterling Hawkins' book, Hunting Discomfort. It's like after you find the discomfort that you like is when all this stuff happens. And his book's very much about like what are the things, take yourself out of your comfort zone, do all these things. But whether you're being an author, swimming, whatever it is, boxing or chess, whatever you're picking up, if you find it and it makes you uncomfortable, but it gives you that buzz,
Yeah,
then
that's like
it
a
works.
Seinfeld thing. He's like, exactly. He's like, it's
Yeah.
like the happiness or the security or something.
Yeah.
It's finding the discomfort that you can tolerate, the discomfort that you like. And
Right.
that's why it's like, okay, he likes writing jokes, sitting
Yeah.
down and writing jokes
And
and
every
doing
day,
it every day. Grisham obviously liked getting up and writing every morning.
every morning.
Of
And if you
finding
didn't, you're screwed.
his
Yeah.
reward. Just like, hey, you got to get up and you got to go to the pool.
Yeah.
Like Dan Gluck told me every time I showed up at the pool, who was in the lane next to me? This 80 something year old guy who's in the pool. He's there before me and
Yeah.
he's there after me. And he's been there for 20, 30 years.
Well, you find when you compete in these things, yesterday there was a 97-year-old woman who did a 50 freestyle, which in freestyle you can do any stroke, obviously. But this was her like 50th Masters meet. She trains down there. She wasn't setting any records. But shit, man. I mean, it took her forever, but like they say she goes to practice now. She's had all kinds of health issues, but she's in the pool at 97 because she didn't stop going to the pool. I'll take it, you know?
Agree. And I think there's an example of that in just about everything. Every year there's a marathon and they're celebrating the last person to finish the New York City Marathon
Yep.
as much, if not more, than they're celebrating the
And it's
first
always a better story than the
guy.
person who
Oh,
wins. 1,000 times.
always a better
Yeah.
story because
Person who won ran their ass off and is genetically gifted and crushed it and good for them. The person who finished last went through some shit. And that's
yes,
awesome.
exactly. And they still showed up and they finished it and they're there every day. And
Yep.
that's what winning looks like to them.
I agree.
Is 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 the part of this. Either way, Grisham had books. He
Yeah,
always,
the thing
he
is
always
with
had good books, but I
yep.
believe that it's like they say the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
What did the reason he got signed or that got optioned or anything else? That dude was still writing. He was still writing regardless.
And sending out, rejections are a part of everything that's creative or even anything in life, but like especially when you're submitting books and like he could have just stopped submitting after 13 or 15
It,
or
it's
20.
a great point, and as again, as I have young men who will soon be entering the workforce, it's a great point, which is if you don't have a stack of rejection letters, then you're not trying hard enough.
Yes.
Like you're not applying highly enough or anything. And by the way, it shouldn't be easy.
It isn't. I mean,
Like if you send one, apply like sorry, if you send one and you get the job, not a great life lesson.
look, dude, this Macho Man book took 2 years and probably 16 rejections to happen. And it was a huge hit and did great. And I have the emails. Nobody cares. He's a 90s icon, toxic. He's a toxic character now. There's not enough nostalgia. I was writing that fucking book. Like that was not an option for me. It was going to be written.
It's a good book. It's a very good book,
Thank
John. You need to, yeah, not that you need that anymore, but
No, but I'm saying we're
it's a
talking about
very good
rejection.
book.
Like after 10, I could have been like, all right, maybe there's a point to this that somebody doesn't want it. But you just keep finding it and finding the right publisher, which I did. And I just believed in it. And I think whatever the course of action you take growing up or as your kids get out, it's like, do you believe in this? Yes, the no doesn't count.
Well, it also could get turned around. There's a million stories on this too about, hey, that book could have been written, could be just as good, could then be rejected 16, 25 times.
Yeah,
Your next book gets picked up after the very first,
yeah,
you do.
yeah.
And then again, like a Grisham, it comes back around. What else you got? Well, I've had this other thing. Oh, and they're like, oh, we'll take that. It's like, really? So
Yeah, all that stuff
same thing.
happens.
Like,
Or
okay, but
like,
now I'm hot in a way. Now I'm
yeah,
hot.
or
Now I'm
even in the beginning,
acceptable.
you
Now,
go and you get feedback, right? You're like, What did they not like? And you alter your proposal a little bit. Okay, well, let's take that off the table for the next person I'm pitching to. Again, even if you're pitching for a job or something, you make
I
your
used to see
weaknesses
this in the
strengths.
film business all the time too. Early
Yeah,
years when I was in the film business, a guy write a script and the script would get either optioned or looked at. The script would never get made.
right.
But he's kind of like, what ended up happening? Recognized as being a good screenwriter. Got
And then
called
he
in to
got,
touch
yep,
something else up.
yep,
Got hired on this other thing. Or hey, let's do this next thing, not this. Like this one's never going to get made, but what did it prove to us? It proved that you're good. You're a good writer. It's a good story, but we're not going to make this thing, that you did for whatever the reasons are. But what else you got, in
yep,
there? And there are
yeah.
guys we know who have made careers out of what they call some of their best work never really seeing the light of day, but it's led them to all kinds of other things. And then also, when you get a little success, when you get a little power, when you get a little money, what have we also seen? Guys turn back around and be like, I'm doing my passion project now. This one that nobody want, like now I'm doing this one for me.
It is a good feeling when you're finally like, you know what, this has to be in the world, and I think I have enough cachet to do it,
Right.
and let the chips
I've,
fall where they may. Yeah,
right. I've built up enough now in this industry where somebody's going to let me do this, or I'm
yep.
going to be able to put this out. So I thought it was a great column this week. It's a lot of great life lessons that are in there. Um, Ironically, I thought it was deeper than mine this
Yours,
week.
well, yours was this was one where your column this week I've been thinking for a while, and I was like, there's when you're when you're running content for a brand, there's always like low hanging fruit, and sometimes you just don't do it because it's so it's so low hanging, you just don't do it. And I'm like, every time we go on our Zoom, when you go on a trip, you come back clean shaven and you hate it. And we have to suffer a week of you looking at your face in the Zoom saying you don't like it and you can't wait for it to go back. And then it occurred to me, how have we not written like the definitive to beard or not to beard guide by the guy who goes from beard to not beard constantly, and who dealt with the hair loss side of it and the beard side of it. And I was like looking back to see if made sure I didn't assign that at some point in time. And I was like, I think I texted you, I'm like, this is going to be a home run week after week. People are going to read this because every guy, I can't grow a beard, but every guy who can, which is most actual grown men, are like, how do I grow it? When do I grow it? At what point am I losing my hair? Do I shave it all off? Do I not shave it all off? And I thought you crushed it, man. This hit all the notes. If I were able to grow a beard and I was in the part of like the hair loss part, this would be like my absolute like North Star.
There,
I can't
there it
grow a
is.
beard, so half of it is irrelevant to me personally. But
It was one of the easier articles for me to write because I could literally get into my car, throw on the voice memo thing that I
yeah,
use, and just throw up all of my insecurities and experiences over the last one, and just
yeah.
please transcribe this, okay, and drop and,
I
and,
thought it was great. It sounded
and here
like
it
all the
was.
conversations we've had. Did you when you were talking about early in the article about how you used to have like flowing like Agassi hair and all that kind of stuff? I never asked. Did you ever have a beard with all that, or did you go clean
No,
shaven? No. Okay.
no, I was very late to the beard game.
So your
I
beard didn't really
never.
show up till it was like an
I,
option.
I never had a beard until COVID.
Interesting. Okay.
Like I was always like the little stubble, I like the whole little Miami Vice thing, it
Yeah.
was always like I don't want to be like clean shaven. I rarely did that.
Yeah.
But I never had a beard until COVID. And when COVID hit, I that was my first epic beard. I didn't shave for like 2 years.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
shaved my head, but I didn't shave for like 2 years. There's some pictures of us when we went on this road trip, like during college. I finally was so fucking stir crazy at home, like everybody was.
Yeah.
We're like, we're loading up the truck and we're
Yeah. We
going.
did the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and we drove from Houston to Santa Fe, Santa Fe into Colorado, through Colorado into Moab, everything. And over like the whole COVID period, like there's some photos of me when we were leaving like Moab and everything. I have an like ginormous, like real,
I love
real
it.
serious beard. So all I was doing for that period was working out and growing the beard.
I
And
think it's great. I think it's
yeah,
great. The piece maybe resonated a lot, and I think um, guys go through this period depending on their age. Doesn't really matter, I guess. You said it was in your like early 30s already or late 20s. You had to deal with it, but like if you start losing your hair, you start contemplating options, and the way you were discussing like your mindset for the beard made a lot of sense.
yeah,
It's control.
Well, as you can see, the hat just came off right now. Like growing hair on the top of my head is not exactly an option right now. I can do the science teacher wraparound, which I think I alluded to there.
You know what's funny? You ever watch old
Covered
like
a
movies
lot.
movies from the 80s? What was he just watching with my son? There was no white guys did not shave their heads. Everybody just you just went with what you had. It was like
Yeah, that's
normal. It
that's the
was
thing
like
too. They know that there were a lot of guys with that wraparound and everything else. You really didn't shave it or keep it super, super tight. Now it's a very common thing. Guys just shave it, go really, really tight with the whole thing.
yeah,
That has evolved, which I think is great because I do think it maintains, even though you're bald, you look younger, you look leaner, you look all of these other things. But yeah, I mean, in this one, covered it all. So guys, if you have not read this one yet out there, like this is going to cover the thinning process, the receding hairline process to when do we go all in on this? What are your acceptable and unacceptable options? When do you actually start growing or dabbling with the beard or not being clean shaven so that you're all Mr. Clean everywhere, which is not, I think, a look that most guys can really pull off, overall in
yeah.
there. But it runs the gamut, at different ages or stages of your life, what decisions I would have made differently, had certain things played out a little bit differently time-wise, and what just as you get older is becomes, less important, i.e., like, don't mind being bald, very much mind being fat and bald. Really would mind being fat, bald with bad skin. Like going down, like what are the controllables, for you to do, here. So it goes a little beyond just to beard or to not beard, but a lot of the psychology behind the securities or insecurities of all of it.
Yeah,
Now,
it's great. It really is. I think it's one of those things that's just a guide that you just want to like uncomfortably forward to someone who's got a terrible haircut that they're hanging on to try to comb over or thicken or whatever. Um, and I also think that it goes with at whatever stage because it seems like what you went through when you first were losing it and going through the beard hole thing, like it can happen at 28 or 38 or 48 or 58. Like at this point, guys no one really thinks about it. It's obviously more of an issue for guys when they're younger, right? Like nobody wants to be 27 and just like dealing with this issue. But as you said, if you're 54 and this is just starting, you kind of give less of a shit if you've already had you're married with kids, like you're
yeah,
not at the beginning.
but I will say hindsight being 2020, I think the earlier you own it, the earlier you control, your own narrative, your confidence, the things that again that you can do. And there are all kinds of advancements now out there. Look, I've got a ton of friends and a ton of clients who've had incredible hair transplants. You'd never know unless they told you. I
Right.
didn't know for a lot of them until, they told me or the guy was asking or mentioned it, and then one guy turned and goes, "Oh, well, I did that. I'll give you my guy." And you're like, "You did it? Really? Like,
Yeah.
why have you never told me?" He's like, "Why have you never noticed?" Oh, it's that
Yeah.
good. Okay. So I don't have an issue either way. I think like everything else we talk about, it comes down to, hey, what works for you? What's your operating system? What's your thesis? What makes you the best version of yourself?
Yeah.
But just like any of these things, look, if you take TRT and you don't work out, it's
Yeah.
not going
It
to
all
work.
it all it's
If you go
it's
get a hair transplant, okay, and you also don't take good care of yourself, you lack confidence, you anything at all, you're not a good conversationalist, you're not interesting or interested, you're not anything. So what? You're just as
yeah.
another nobody
It's
with good
fixing one
with good
thing.
hair or with a full hairline, or
Yeah.
just a guy, who's injecting himself with stuff, but not willing to do the work to actually get any results out of this whole thing. So all of
Yeah.
this stuff is like, they're not zero sum games. They're not all or nothing. There's no magic pill or bullet that's going to like fix everything
Yeah. It's true.
on all of it. So before we wrap on this, as we went all in on a number of different things, I did want to bring up that I thought that the interview with Scott McGregor, the How I See It feature this week, was really strong.
Yeah, I had a side conversation with him after it came out, and I was like, the thing that resonated, I think I've said resonated like 15 times this morning. I'm a little tired from the swimming. You do like between the warm ups and the warm downs, I'm in the pool for like 4 hours. I think my head's waterlogged. The thing I like the most,
Self-awareness is resonating with me though.
dude, I'm telling you, my like you because you have to warm up and then cool down and warm up and cool down, and at the end you're like, did I just do like 4,000 meters and spend my whole day getting in and out of the pool? I'm exhausted. But anyway, uh, the thing that like stuck out to me as I was like editing and looking at it, he has this great line where he says he's like maniacal about the simple basic things, and I'm kind of mangling what his quote is, but it's like This idea that like, I'm not going to do everything. I'm not going to do all the life hacks. I don't need an optimization system. But these are the three things that work for me. And I'm going to quintuple down on them and be the best in the world that I can be at them. And that's going to compound more than trying to do everything. And, he's obviously super successful in publishing and a lot of other areas of his life. And that hit me more than many of the other quotes we've had for a lot of these guys. 'Cause it's like, yeah, you don't, and we talk about simplicity all the time, but simplicity doesn't mean easy and it doesn't mean slacking. It could simply mean this is the thing I'm best at, and I'm going all in on this, and the one thing that's going to make me better at it.
Well, I agree with that, and I thought that was one of the most interesting things about it, and in this notion of it is really, again, we're getting at his focus.
Yeah, yeah,
Really getting at his focus. It's acknowledging what you do well and focusing on that. Because I think there's a lot of emphasis placed on strengthening your weaknesses for people.
yeah,
Guys think, oh, I've got Scott McGregor. So I think what it comes down to, though, is it's focus. I think that there's a lot of emphasis around, for guys in particular, strengthening their weaknesses. We've got a weakness, we've got to strengthen that. And one of the points that I thought came across with him was that maybe not. It's really about strengthening your strengths. Not every weakness needs to be improved.
Yeah, and saying no to stuff that doesn't help your strengths. I think it's very easy to spread yourself thin on commitments and on things you say you want to do just because maybe you can do them or maybe you're okay at them. But I thought his kind of heuristic of this is what I do and I'm going to keep doing it. And if it doesn't fit in there, and he talks about it again with networking versus relationships. He would rather double down and triple down on a new great relationship that's a full relationship with a person instead of just this networking thing where maybe we can help each other out here and there. It's an investment for a long-term play in a person as opposed to, oh, we should do something. I feel like he's kind of guy who's you say, if you drop we should do something to him, I feel like he's just armor comes up. We shouldn't do something. We either will or we won't. And it's because there's a reason that we're going to be friends for the next 30 years,
There's an art to networking. There's an art to developing relationships. Scott is masterful at it. He does courses on it. He's done it through the Outlier Project, done it throughout his entire career. If you have not read the interview with him, it's a good one. How I See It with Scott McGregor. Definitely check it out. All right, we went long. We always tend to go a little long, a little verbose. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Out here. But this is always good to start our week off, getting this stuff out, talking it all through. Congratulations on your multiple medals from the weekend. And guys out there, make sure you subscribe to the Midlife Male newsletter. That's where it's all at. The stuff that we are talking about, John's Manologue column, my Viewpoint, the How I See It interviews. We have a full calendar of 2026 events and experiences that we are about to release. Also, we are going to be doing a course next year. And we're in the home stretch of 2025. We've got a ton going on for 2026 that we are planning. We're looking at meeting you guys exactly where you are, taking the feedback in. Just a lot, as we just got finished talking about focus right there and simplicity. It sounds like a lot, but it's right in exactly what we say we are going to do, the way that we want to do it to help you guys master the middle, maximize midlife. And at the core of this, like we say every week, just live happier, healthier, wealthier, longer, stronger, and have more fun. So join the 30,000 plus and read the Midlife Male newsletter. Share it with all of your friends. Come join us at some really cool shit with cool guys. And that's just how we roll and how we see it. So
I love it. I always think of signing off with, and that's Midlife Lately. The cheesiest sign off ever. But if we were like a 70s radio show or a 60s radio show, that's what they would say at the end.
And that's Midlife Lately. See you guys next week.